Hello, today I am going to be presenting on Selco, which is solar lighting for the poor. This presentation was conducted by Daniel Lomelai, John Mendez, Tori Miller, myself, Melissa Soriano, and Nan Yang. Selco, questions 1 and 2. Growth, geographical expansion. In over 15 years, Selco has been able to grow. One of its major geographic expansions has been facilitated by its partnership with SUA Bank and has allowed the company to set up satellite offices and service centers. There is a large number of costs associated with the geographical expansion, making expansion a resource-intensive program. Selco's business model requires deep involvement with local banks. They have relied heavily on word-of-mouth marketing, which has required time and energy to cultivate. Brand extension has ventured out of just solar power and is now offering other types of energy-efficient services like cook stoves, as well as many others in-house products. The downside would be that new products bring on the risk of brand dilution and no prior experience, which may hurt the company's reputation and reliability. New customer segments. New customer segments are aimed at those who have ongoing means to generate income, has considerable innovative capabilities to try and create products for those who are even lower on the income pyramid. Energy problems, direct and indirect. Selco has installed more than 100,000 homes with solar lighting systems. They have also worked with small businesses and larger organizations to bring sustainable and affordable power. They've provided customers with an increased quality of life and health, opportunity to generate more income, increased productivity within businesses. They've even built an enviable reputation for not only sales, but for service among their clientele. They were able to accomplish their mission despite the fact that solar energy was unfamiliar in India when they started. They brought considerable innovation to both the products they created and the way that they had arranged its financing. Economic benefits in the future. Longer study times for students for higher paying positions. Schools were in a better position to deliver their missions and aid in the development of their communities. Selco questions 3 and 4. Why did Selco's plan to expand with franchise dealers fail? Franchising is a financial gamble. Franchise dealers did not focus on serving those consumers who Selco was originally created to serve, the poor and disfranchised. Dealers appeared more focused on serving the middle class and high middle class, a marketing group not yet fully introduced and knowledgeable about Selco's products and services. It also appears dealers overestimated changes between market groups and position. An overestimation that caused a domino effect. Dealers were forced to slow down their business, which resulted in surplus of unsold products for Selco. Are there ways the company could have organized its franchisees to make the program succeed? If Selco had planned properly and not reacted so easily under pressure, it would not have suffered such a large economic blow. Maybe by Selco asking such questions as, can we afford to franchise half our business to dealers? Are we mentally ready to franchise our business? Or are we able to provide the necessary support, training, and guidance to franchise dealers? They could have acted according to correct feedback researched. This data resulting in self-reflection and correct decision-making could have made Selco act wiser, more steadfast, and thus stay focused on their mission statement. This would have prevented the suffering endured as a business in 2004. Likewise, Selco should have provided dealers with extensive training on Selco's history, mission statement, and other important facts. They also could have vetted them to identify those not sharing the same compassion and commitment to Selco's mission statement. What does the failure of the franchise dealers say about other plans to expand? Though this failure was a large economic blow, it was a blow that educated Selco. It was a blow that provided Selco first-hand experience and knowledge on how not to proceed on their next ventures, on how resilient Selco is and on how it can continue to grow even though difficult times. It taught Selco to stay focused, don't waver from being structured as a for-profit business, and only invite and incorporate others who share similar values. How has Hans' desire to structure Selco as a for-profit enterprise influenced the growth of the enterprise? Hans' experience witnessing nonprofit NOGs in Indians' rural environment left him disheartened with their approach. This discouragement continues to fuel his view of Selco India as it continues to maintain itself as a for-profit business. NGOs' function is unsustainable and that the utilization of their funds should be vice versa. He talked about how Selco should focus on decreasing losses by first striving to reduce their losses and not first funding their own salary. How do these investors differ from traditional investors? New investors must share identical commitment and passion. Good Energy Foundation, Lemelson Foundation, and ECO were all companies who endorsed the same mission as of Selco India, to provide sustainable energy services to the underserved. Good Energy Foundation, a nonprofit and financial leader, focused on providing entry to low-income individuals towards renewable energy. Lemelson Foundation provides support towards architects and business persons who want to empower individuals' lives. ECO, a nonprofit financial firm who first invested in Selco in 1995, assists businesses by providing support and capital to business focused on energy innovativeness. All three of these agencies are similar to each other but different from previous Selco investors. What lessons can you draw from Selco's experience in running a for-profit company that has a social mission? The one thing that drew our attention as a group is that for any nonprofit or for-profit to succeed, all employees from the housekeeping staff to the investors must all be in agreement and believe in the agency's mission statement. It wasn't until Selco relinquished the hold from previous investors and partnered with like-minded investors that it really began to flourish. Selco questions 5, 6, and 7. How big a role can Selco play in helping India's disadvantaged? What steps could be taken to increase the company's impact? The business model, because Selco cannot get very high profits in a short time, which limited their development, the number of poor people in India is too large to help, increasing the impact of the company, increasing revenue sources, and expanding other industries. Number 6, how Selco worked to create a new value chain in supplying light to street vendors. You need assessment, understand the triggers and barriers, awareness creation regarding alternative energy solutions, facilitating end-user financing, managing installations and after-sales service, training of bank managers and workforce skills within local areas, and community building through partnerships. How Selco was able to use solar energy to power sewing machines. They need longer working hours to get more income, so the solar sewing machine needs to meet the following characteristics. It requires higher energy conversion efficiency, and it needs a battery or a storage to store solar energy so it can support it to work at night as well. Are there other ways that reconsidering energy requirements for Western designed appliances or machines could help Indian entrepreneurs or families adopt sustainable energy sources? Most of the machines and appliances designed in the West use electricity, but it is controlled and provided by the state, which means additional expenses, electricity charges. Sustainable energy sources will be very environmentally friendly and cheap. Solar energy is the most reliable in all sustainable energy sources, but it still has a disadvantage. What is the disadvantage? The influence of extreme weather. We should focus on technological breakthroughs in solar collection efficiency and solar reserve capacity. Selco questions 8 and 9. Adaptation of common designs. In India, with the power being unreliable, there was a need for light for midwives. Using the miner's headlamp design, they modified the design to fit the needs of the midwife. They added a focus lens and covered it with denim to add comfort and make it moisture resistant. Selco creates products to solve the poorest citizens' energy issues. Customizing products does make it more expensive, which their main client base cannot afford. They have learned to diversify their products so other segments can benefit by the customization. The headlamp, for example, is used in flower pickers, masonry workers, embroidery workers, and fishermen. Selco products, even though customized for a specific issue, can be used in other segments. Adaptation of common designs. Products offered have been customized so the poor citizens of India can afford them. For example, street vendors rent lights for their carts from a solar entrepreneur. The solar entrepreneur charges the lamps and at dusk distributes them in the market. At the end of the day, they collect their rental fee and the lamps to recharge. This allows for street vendors to have a solar lighting even though they cannot afford the full setup. Home lighting products have also been customized. Selco workers understand the need of villagers and what they can afford. They came up with installing 4 connection points but only 2 lights. This way the client can move the light to the room where they need it. Selco has also come up with school charging stations. This makes parents send their children to school if they want light. With having employees who live at the villages, they can further find new ways to adapt the current technology. Expanding the client base. Selco has done bigger projects for large institutional clients. They should expand their efforts in gaining these types of clients to further their goal to serve the poor. The pie chart shows us, as of June 2018, the types of incorporated business in India. As we can see, 10% of incorporated business are classified as community, personnel, and social services business types. Expanding into these customers not only helps the poor have reliable services, but provides capital for making customizable products. Selco questions 10, 11, and 12. In 2007, the Innovation Department was established as a design process within the company. This department created ideas for new products based on sustainable energy sources, including those that go beyond Selco's solar energy. The design group formed many technology-based partnerships with Indian and international technical organizations, universities, research institutes, and other companies. The partnerships opened up possibilities of finding new technologies that could help the poor with energy needs, improving the quality of life and income-generating potential. On the other hand, Selco's success has always come from field experiences of technicians and managers. It could possibly hurt Selco if they go outside of their typical competence in solar energy. Selco does not want to encounter another ill-fated attempt at something that can hurt their company. Selco's approach to marketing is organizing service camps. Selco has even participated in putting up stalls and demonstrating in areas such as farmer and village fairs during major festivals. They even demonstrate in potential customers' homes while leaving demo home systems for a week to experience it. Selco continues to build rapport and educates its members of the bank financing. They also market through publishing articles in the media each time a milestone is reached. Selco needs to focus on branding because they use a lot of personal interaction, which will make branding that much easier. Selco should also focus on getting testimonials from their customers. Their brochures need to show their products and their benefits. They can even use social media, which should always be up to date, and they should be posting regularly. Selco's conventional paradigm of creating cheaper products will not work as they erode into the non-expendable incomes of the poor and susceptible communities, making them poorer. We need to make sure that increased productivity is also matched with appropriate market linkages and access to patient long-term financing. Other recommendations for marketing can include needs assessment, understanding triggers and barriers, awareness creation regarding alternative energy solutions, facilitating end-user financing, managing installations and after-sales service, training for bank managers and workforce skills within local areas, and community building through partnerships. Selco's model of linking sustainable energy with affordable financing was a fit for SUA Bank. They joined an energy program that included other services beyond lighting, such as cook stoves and food dehydrators. In January 2006, Selco and SUA launched the URGA program. It provided funding for staff training, technology development, and financing for end users and potential entrepreneurs. SUA needs to have a balanced approach. Neither company should take more risk than the other. When Selco's vision was to lend for livelihoods, rather than digging deep to understand why and correct any issues, they expanded their lending portfolio. No one wants to lose money, so this type of risk averseness is not developing the appropriate instruments for the company. In the future, Selco may approach more financial institutions or nonprofits to build beneficial partnerships in order to continue growing. These are our references that we used for our presentation, and we thank you for your time.